With the recent coup d'etat that occurred in Burkina Faso, many understandably feel uneasy about visiting the country. However, there's still a lot of opportunities in the country for private investors. I have to be honest with myself and saying I didn't really know much about Burkina Faso before studying and doing my research on this video, other than Thomas Sankara. I was actually shocked to discover what I'm about to tell you in a moment's time. By the end of this video, you'll learn a brief history about Burkina Faso and also how the economy has been progressing since its independence. Also, I'll reveal some investment opportunities for you to pursue, so definitely keep watch till the end. History has it that the northwestern part of present-day Burkina Faso was actually populated by hunter-gatherers from 14,000 BCE to 5,000 BCE. Their tools included scrapers, chisels, and arrowheads, and were discovered in 1973 through archaeological excavations. Agricultural settlements were established between 3600 and 2600 BCE. Axes belonging to a Neolithic culture have been found in the northern part of Burkina Faso. The Bobo, the Labi, and the Gurunsi are the earliest known inhabitants of the country. Burkina Faso is a former French colony, and it gained its independence as Upper Volta in August 5th, 1960. The name Burkina Faso, which means land of incorruptible people, was adopted in 1984. Citizens of Burkina Faso, regardless of their ethnic origin, are collectively known as Burkinabe. Burkina Faso is bounded by Mali to the north and west, Niger to the northeast, Benin to the southeast, and Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Togo to the south. Burkina Faso is about 1.3 times bigger than the state of Utah. The climate of Burkina Faso is generally sunny, hot, and dry. Two principal climate zones can be distinguished. They are the Sahel region in the north, which is characterized by 3 to 5 months of rainfall, often being erratic, and to the south, the Sudanic region. The climate is a tropical wet dry type with a greater variability of temperature and rainfall. There are artifacts proving that Burkina Faso is actually home to one of the oldest human settlements in West Africa, when people were hunter-gatherers and later becoming farmers. Ouagadougou, the administrative capital and the seat of government, is a modern city where several companies have their headquarters. A rail line links Ouagadougou to the port of Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire. It is some 700 miles long, of which about 320 miles run through Burkina Faso. Running from east to west before crossing the border, the line serves the towns of Koudougou, Bobo Dioulasso, and Banfora. Burkina Faso's road networks are poorly developed, with only a small percentage of the network usable year-round. The remainder consists mostly of unpaved rural roads. International airports are located at Ouagadougou and Bobo Dioulasso. Numerous smaller airstrips are found throughout the country. Ouagadougou Airport had regularly scheduled flights to many destinations in West Africa, as well as Paris, Brussels, and Istanbul. The other international airport, Bobo Dioulasso Airport, has flights to Ouagadougou and Abidjan. The state of health of the Burkinabe is generally poor. Most hospitals are in the larger towns, but the government has improved access to primary health care by increasing the number of village clinics. While services remain underdeveloped, the National Office for Water and Sanitation, also known as ONIA, a state-owned utility company run along commercial lines, is emerging as one of the best performing utility companies in Africa. High levels of autonomy and a skilled and dedicated management have driven ONIA's ability to improve production of and access to clean water. Since 2000, nearly 2 million more people have access to water in the 4 principal urban centers in the country, and the company has kept the quality of infrastructure high, improved financial reporting, and increased its annual revenue by an average of 12%. Rail transport in Burkina Faso consists of a single line, which runs from Kaya to Abidjan in Ivory Coast via Ouagadougou, Koudougou, Bobo Dioulasso, and Banfora. Cedar Rail operates a passenger train 3 times a week along the route. There are 9,300 miles of roads in Burkina Faso, of which 1,553 miles are paved. The state-sponsored television and radio service, also known as RTB, is the main outlet. It broadcasts on several FM and 2 AM frequencies. There are also several privately owned stations. RTB also produces a shortwave new broadcast in French. The country has 4 national parks, 1 UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, 3 complete reserves, 6 partial reserves, and 10 protected forests. The ethnic breakdown of Burkina Faso is as follows. The population as a whole is unevenly distributed among the different regions. The eastern and central regions are densely settled and contain about half the total population. In the remaining regions, the population is scattered. More than 2/3 of the people are rural and live in villages, which tend to be grouped towards the center of the country at higher elevations away from the Volta River valleys. Currently, more than 2/5 of the population is younger than age 15. About 90% of the population is engaged in subsistence agriculture or livestock raising. I'll read that again. About 90% of the population, 90% of the population is engaged in subsistence agriculture or livestock raising. Difficult economic conditions, made worse by severe intermittent droughts, have provoked considerable migration from rural to urban areas within Burkina Faso and to neighboring countries, most notably Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. Minerals, particularly manganese and gold, are the chief sources of potential wealth for the country. There are gold mines at Pora, southwest of Koudougou, and smaller gold deposits near Seba and Dori Yalogo in the north exist. Reserves of nickel, bauxite, zinc, lead, and silver are also found in the country. Burkina Faso's substantial manganese deposits at Tambo in the northeast potentially represent its most important resource and one of the world's richest sources of this mineral. Exploitation is limited by existing transport inadequacies. The top exports of Burkina Faso are gold, raw cotton, zinc ore, raw zinc, and other oily seeds, exporting mostly to Switzerland, India, Singapore, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana. The top imports of Burkina Faso are refined petroleum, delivery trucks, packaged medicaments, electricity, and planes, helicopters, and/or spacecraft, imported mostly from Cote d'Ivoire, China, Ghana, France, and India. Burkina Faso's currency is the CFA franc, which is pegged to the euro. One of the poorest countries in the world, Burkina Faso relies heavily on international aid and on remittances from migrants to help offset its current account deficit. Burkina Faso's natural resources include gold, manganese, limestone, marble, phosphates, pumice, and salt. Burkina Faso has one of the lowest levels of access to electricity in the world, with only 20% of the population connected to the national grid in 2017. 20% of the population connected to the national grid in 2017. As far as promising industries of this country, the first one will be renewable energy, which is obvious because if only 20% of the population is connected to the national grid, and this was in 2017, there's a problem. And being a landlocked country, it's expensive to get what you need. So if you can at least control your energy production and increase that, then that'll be good. And since they don't have any oil, renewable energy is their thing, especially when it comes to, there's a lot of sunlight over there. So renewable energy, definitely a promising industry. The mining, there's a lot of resources, mineral resources in Burkina Faso. But what's typical is the infrastructure is not up to the point where it can properly exploit these minerals. So mining is a great industry that needs private investors in order to make it more efficient. The third one, communication. Internet, communication, technology, it's always going to be needed when you're growing an economy. Have to be up to modern times, especially the Internet of Things. Communication is super important, especially when it comes to mining and having that type of technology to communicate back and forth. Okay, what's going to be the most conducive way to exploit these minerals with as little waste as possible. So communications is always going to be a big deal. Security sector. So unfortunately, there's a lot of insecurity in different parts of the country, particularly coming from Islamist extremists. So security is a big thing. Now, it doesn't have to just be manpower. It can also be technology, maybe cameras, maybe some type of tracking devices. So the security sector, there's several ways to invest in security that don't deal with a security guard. So especially with everything that's going on, it's really important to get your security in order so that private investors and more people can feel comfortable living and doing business in Burkina Faso. The fifth one, agriculture. They're really high on exporting cotton. Cotton is like one of their main sources of agriculture, but with everything you need to be diversified. So there's other areas that have advantages because of the country and where it's at. So cereals, fruits and nuts, other oilseed crops, livestock. There's so many opportunities in agriculture, really all of West Africa, but especially in Burkina Faso, that needs to be exploited for the people to bring in some revenue and, you know, to increase those exports. So agriculture is always going to be one. And something that's forgotten a lot, and to be honest, I didn't really think much of it until I started doing more research, but cold storage facilities for commercial purposes. This is a huge problem just on the continent of Africa, where a lot of produce spoils because they don't have proper cold storage. So that means they can't export a lot of what they grow. And if a lot of these people are doing subsistence farming, that's very, very detrimental to their bottom line. So cold storage facilities, that is a huge industry that can not just help Burkina Faso, but also other countries as well. So if it was up to me and I was gonna do investment in Burkina Faso, I will focus on renewable energy because the sun is there. It's a landlocked country. You don't have oil. If you can figure out the energy crisis, because it's only like 20%, according up until 2017, 20% of the population have electricity. You have sunlight there where you can utilize the solar panels or solar energy. I will focus on renewable energy. That's what I will focus on. There's a lot of people already doing agriculture. That's always there too, but I would really want to attack that issue of only 20% of the people having electricity. There's no reason why it should be like that. So I'll focus on that. If you're interested in an entrepreneurial story, I have one for you. Exporting chilies from Uganda to Europe, how this entrepreneur built her business. And I'll have the link for that in this video's description. I hope this video better help you understand the economy of Burkina Faso. If you have any relevant topics that you would like for me to do a video on, then definitely leave a comment down below. And also check this video's description to see the helpful sources that I did leave for you all. If you like this content, you like this type of video, then definitely like this video and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to click the bell so that you're alerted when I do drop new videos. And also please, 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 don't keep me a secret. Please share this video with anyone you believe would benefit from the information in this video. It would really help me grow this channel. So Till next time, I'll catch you in the next video.